Hello there! This is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing you my review of the LEGO Star Wars Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. It's set number 75412, comes with 119 pieces, is rated ages 6 and up. Now this set retails in the United States for $22.99 and in Canada for $24.99. Now without further ado, let's kick off this review, starting with the box. Taking a look at the box, you can see the sort of battleship or gunship, I guess, flying through Peridia, presumably chasing off after Ahsoka and Ezra and Sabine, as we see during Ahsoka Season 1. Flipping the set around, again, kind of showing the same thing, just more scenery from Peridia, which looks pretty nice. You have the two Death Troopers and two Night Troopers, looking pretty nice there. Take a look at the manual, and as you can see, it is a rendered image, which I'm not a fan of personally. I preferred the older style manuals that had the box art reprinted on the front of the set, or on the front of the manual, I mean. It doesn't take away anything from the building experience, just personal preference, as I felt those ones just looked a lot more premium of a product. Inside the manual is your typical LEGO building experience, and at the back does show the other sets that were released alongside the set, including this same battle pack, as this page would have been reprinted into other manuals as well. Just probably flipped, the Plo Koon microfighter will have it here front and center, etc. So that's fine and dandy there. And we have the extra pieces I was left with following the build. Of course, some of them are specifically meant to be extras for the stud shooters on the gunship, as well as an extra piece for the stud shooter. So overall, nothing too crazy, but still pieces you can add to your collection for free. Take a look at our first minifigure. We have one of the Night Troopers, and this is basically the exact same one. In fact, it is just straight up the exact same one we got in the Duel on Peridia set, as you can see. Exactly the same printing, not even different with the gold markings there, which is a little bit disappointing. Would have been nice if we got something a little bit different there. It's still a very nice figure, don't get me wrong. It does have the same sort of zombified head underneath, which is pretty nice. And flipping it around, you can see the nice back printing as well with the red straps. Obviously this armor has been damaged over the years, as they've obviously also become zombified by the Night Sisters of Peridia. So that's definitely pretty nice. Just, again, would have been nice if we got a unique version of a Night Trooper in the set rather than the same one that we've already gotten. Take a look at our next Night Trooper. This one, thankfully, is much more unique, having the now more, dark gray Stormtrooper helmet, still having the gold markings, which my light is kind of shining on, but it is there, as you can see, slightly sort of poking through at points, so that's definitely nice. And it also has a unique torso print. The belt and leg prints is pretty much the exact same as the other ones, unfortunately. So again, LEGO reusing the same printed parts to save costs rather than giving us something a little bit more unique, which would have been much nicer. The back printing is going to be very similar to the previous one. Taking a look at the back printing, and as you can see, it also is a little bit different than the other previous one, just to show what it is with them next to each other there, looking pretty nice. And again, I love that, it's straight up different, just a little bit unique, because obviously compared to what normal Stormtrooper armor is, all of the sort of Stormtroopers or Night Troopers on Peridia had unique armor sets, so it's nice that they didn't do all of the same printing when they definitely probably could have done the same back printing, to be honest, so definitely nice there. And finally, moving on to the Death Trooper, as you can see, looking very awesome. Unfortunately, while you get two of them, they are, again, exactly the same. It would have been really awesome had they done something with a unique helmet mold to, have half of the mask missing to represent, the broken mask that we see in the show. Of course, again, would have been a brand new mold, would have been expensive for LEGO to do, presumably, especially since I kind of doubt we'll get much more Night Troopers or Death Night Troopers. Taking a look at the back printing, as you can see, looking pretty nice. And again, just showing like they are exactly the same on both sides. No arm printing or side leg printing, unlike that custom. And again, same head as the other Night Troopers there. So still pretty nice figures nonetheless. Now taking a look at the mini gunship that we see, this is meant to be very similar to the gunships we see during like the Clone Wars that were repurposed by the Empire. So that's kind of nice. Of course, in this Lego set, they are so incredibly downscaled. It's kind of funny because obviously it's supposed to be much larger, and even for a battle pack build, like this is quite downscaled. Like I'm gonna be very curious to see if someone like combines like not even just two, but maybe like four of these to create one larger gunship, because I think then you might have something. Battle pack builds are never the main driver of the set. It's always to get a bunch of figures to build your armies, but some builds are better than others, and I would definitely say this is on the lower end of builds. It definitely still works for what it is, though. You of course do have room for you to place a pilot. Unfortunately, rather than it being clipped in, you do just have to straight up take off the cockpit piece, which is fine. Just I feel like even in previous times they would have had a clip, even in a battle pack build, to make it open up nicely and not have to, straight up pop off the piece. You of course can easily fit in your clone once you, or Night Trooper once you get him on there, and then just like that, he is piloting, and looks pretty nice. Obviously not enclosed like it's supposed to be. Again, kind of wouldn't expect that in a downscaled build like this. Of course, on the sides, you do have room to place your other characters here. So we'll place some of the Night Troopers and Death Troopers here as they go after Ahsoka and her fellow Jedi, as we see during Ahsoka Season 1. So it looks pretty nice overall. You do have some opposability of these, flap pieces, wing pieces. Obviously, I think they are kind of meant to be pretty stationary, but they had to use this design just so it looked somewhat like it. So you can play around with it and have it be like that when it's in landed mode, however you see fit. It kind of does block the figures, like almost like it's locking them in place when you have it in front of them. Also kind of blocks their eyes, I guess, but still looks okay. As I mentioned in the extra pieces, you do have these stud shooters, and they function as normal. You press and they shoot out, sometimes faster than other times. Like that one was pretty slow, but there you go. And that's why they give you extra pieces in case you end up losing them. And overall looks pretty fine. And just showing again, these pieces very easily just pop right in and you're ready to shoot it off again. The back engines look fine, obviously just some studs there to represent the engine piece, but it looks perfectly fine in my opinion for a battle pack build. Now what is nice is you actually are given clips for your weapons, so as you can see right there. Now it is kind of fun getting some of them in, as you can see, because it's kind of blocked. So I guess technically the weapons are supposed to be facing the other way than what I currently have it, but still nice that you can have your character's weapons hidden there rather than them having to hold it like this one is. So that's definitely nice. The Lego Star Wars Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack is a decent battle pack, especially for the figures, though again, getting one reuse and two of the same figures, being the Death Trooper, especially when they are so unique in the show itself, is a little bit disappointing. Definitely, I think, could have been really nice if you got slight variance between the Death Troopers and then a completely different Night Trooper than the one we got in the Duel on Peridia set. Because yes, well, we got one of them is exactly the same, and realistically the other set should have just had Captain Enoch, but it didn't. So at the end of the day, we can only go by what this set has, and that's just, to me, a knock on the set. In general, battle packs are, kind of meant to get a bunch of. The build is nothing special, just like, normal battle pack builds, but it's still fine for what you're getting, I guess. Though, like I said, I think it'll be really interesting if you're able to combine a bunch of them to make a much more large and potentially more accurate looking gunship to what we see in the show. With that being said, that's all my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on this set in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and have a great day, everyone.